Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel BIM for Construction. So in last episode we have discussed about how you can export the NWC from the Revit itself, and in today episode we will be discussing about what are the different types of Navisworks file format. As you can see here, we are having the NWC file, then we are having the NWD, then we are having the NWF file. So what are the difference between each files, okay, and how you can get those files. So basically NWC we can only export from the Revit itself. We cannot save or we cannot get that file from the Navis itself. It should be exported from the Revit only. So as you can see here, also catch and the export file. So NWC, in our previous video we have discussed how you can export from the Revit. Now let's say if you have exported multiple NWC for, let's say, for architecture, structure, for the HVAC, for the plumbing, for the firefighting, and you have opened all those 4 to 5 NWC in a single Navisworks session, and you made some viewpoint, you run some clash test. So whatever work you have done in that current session, you need to share with the client or with your team. So whenever you are sharing with the client, you are saving all those 4 to 5 NWCs in a single session as a NWD whenever you are sharing with the client. And whenever you are working with your teammates and all teammates are updating their model accordingly as per the clash resolution. Let's say if 4 to 5 people are working, one is working for the HVAC, one is working for the firefighting, one is working for the drainage. So they are continuously working and you have to save one NWF file. So whatever continuous updates are available there, once you take the refresh, so all those latest update will be available in the NWF. You can see the live changes in the linked, but in the NWD case you will not be seeing any live changes. The NWD, whatever the last NWC update you have selected while creating the NWD, it will be saved with the last that snapshots. Okay, so basically this is the difference between NWD and NWF. So whenever you are saving the multiple 4 to 5 NWCs as NWD and NWF, so this NWF, all the links still will be working as a live link. Whatever changes you will be making in any coordination thread, so it will be affecting. You can see those changes in the NWF, but in the NWD it will be removing the link from the existing NWC. It will be creating a separate NWD file for the whole bundle. So you can see here, it will store your geometries and the Navisworks data, whatever Navisworks data like viewpoints you have saved or clash detection you have run. It will store those 3D geometries and all the Navisworks data separately, and it will be non-linked with the existing NWC path files. Okay, but in case of NWF, it will be a live link with the existing location path. Whatever the path of all the NWCs, it will be getting the live data from there. So if you change the path or if you delete the file from there, so NWF also will be affecting the same as per that. Okay, so as you can see here also, NWC auto-generated temporary file when you open a BIM file Revit. Okay, used for speed. You don't share or save this manually because this one is only you can get from the Revit export. NWD final file you need to share with the client. You have made some viewpoint clash test, you can share with them, they can open. Okay, anyone can open. And in case of NWF, it is a continuous live model working file. Okay, so if internally your team are removing some clashes, then you can create this NWF file. So we'll be discussing in detail. So here we are having a session. You can see this Navisworks Manage. We will be opening the NWC that we have exported from the Revit. So from the Revit we have exported these NWCs in our last series also. So you can go here, append to open the file. Okay, let's say you will be browsing the same location where we have exported the data, NWC export folder. So I want to open architecture, I want to open structure, water supply, firefighting, drainage, HVAC. Okay, these all are my coordination threads that I need to check the design review. So I open them simply here, and all those files are available in my 3D Navisworks. You can see here, and let me turn on the selection tree. So in the selection tree we can see we are having an architecture. With the help of Control H you can hide any of the file. So right now I have turned off every file with the help of Control H, and one by one we'll be seeing. Again, to turn this on, let's say structure I want to turn on, I will be pressing Control H. You can see structure is there. Okay, then we are having a drainage, Control H, then we are having HVAC, Control H, firefighting, water supply, and same like architecture is there. Okay, so now you get my point that NWC will be exported from the Revit itself. Okay, you can't get the NWC from the Navis itself. You have to make the NWC export from the Revit. Now to share this file, okay, first with the client. So you will be sharing this file with the client as a NWD, not NWF, because whenever we are sharing the file with the client, he will not be having the access server for this location. Okay, so he will not be getting the live updates whatever we are doing right now. Okay, so for that, to share with the client, we need to share this whole file, all those NWC bunch as a separate NWD. Okay, not as a NWF. And whatever the viewpoints or the clash detection you have run, it will be available to the client. Let's say here in the viewpoint we have mentioned some viewpoint. Let's say here I want to mark some viewpoint, and I am mentioning here some design issues. Okay, issue 01, save. So as you can see here, we have created one viewpoint. I will be renaming it as a issue 01. Okay, so whenever client will be going here, he can check the issue 01 is available. So first, to share with the client, we have to save this one. So first I am saving this file as a NWD. So whenever you will be going here, you will be having those option NWD or NWF. So I am selecting in first step NWD 2016 to 2025 Navisworks can open it. So I am selecting this one and mentioning this as a test NWD for client, let's say. Okay, and saved. So let's say we'll be checking this file in our located folder. So you can see here this file is created, that is NWD. You can see here in the logo itself also NWD will be mentioned. Okay, in the logo NWD will be mentioned. So if I zoom here, you can see NWD is mentioned. Okay, and the file size of this NWD is more. Okay, because in this case it has removed the links from the actual path of these NWC files, and it has created a separate NWC. So you can see here now in the trees all those NWC as combined as a one NWD. So now whatever changes you are making in any architectural, drainage or firefighting services, and you are replacing this at the same location with the updated NWC, it will not be reflected in this particular NWD. Because NWD will remove the live link from those NWC in the current Navisworks session. Okay, so you can see here the size will also be more. If I go to properties, you can see here the size will be around 22-21 MB, but in case of NWF it will be very less. Okay, so client can open this one and can check your comments or the viewpoints or the clash on whatever you have made. So let's say we will be opening this one, open, and let me new, and again. Okay, let me first save the NWF also for the same NWCs, and then we'll be checking the difference between the NWD and the NWF, how it is working. So right now I am opening the same NWC again. Okay, and this time we'll be saving as a NWF those files. So we will be selecting against those NWC exports, architectural, drainage, firefighting, HVAC, structure, water supply. Okay, so this time again I will be creating some viewpoints. Let's say same viewpoints I will be creating here. Say viewpoint review. I am having some design issues here, so I will be marking. Okay, let's say this one issue 02. Here I will be renaming it again as a issue 02. Click finish. Okay, issue 02 done. Okay, here in the text it is mentioned, and here renaming, sorry, I missed the renaming section. Let me mention it as a issue. Now let's say if we are saving this file as a NWF, so what changes will be there? I'm saving at the same path in the download, this one as a test NWF for team purpose. Okay, saved. So this file we have saved as a NWF. So here you can see now this test NWF for team.nwf file name it is showing, but still the files are not in one bundle, still they are segregated as a independent. Okay, now let's say if we are making some changes in the architecture file, if I am going here and let's say I am making some changes, I am removing those ramps for now. Okay, those ramps I have removed, and I will be exporting those changes again at the same location, which location? Where my NWCs are placed. So I'm going to the same location again where my all 5 NWCs are placed. Let me browse the same location again, NWC, and here I am overriding this file with the updated NWC file. Simply okay, override. Okay, so we have made the override. Now we are already having the same files with NWF version. Now I am opening the same NWD that I have saved. Okay, then we will be checking in which file it is showing the update and in which file it is not showing the update. So you will be getting the reason what is the difference between choosing NWF and NWD. So here you can see we have opened a new session, append. So NWF we have already opened. Now I am selecting the NWD file, open. Okay, so you can see here in NWD file, if you click on the refresh, you will not get those architecture update, because while saving this NWD, this is our last update in the architecture model. After that it will not be getting any update from the particular last part of all those NWC's files. Okay, but in the case of it will means in the NWD it will not get the further any update from this NWC's path. Okay, it will be non-linked with this path. But in the case of NWF file, let me show you the NWF file. This is our NWF file. You can see here this is our older architecture, but if I go to home and if I will be clicking on the refresh, it will show you the update. So you can see here whatever we have removed in our Revit, it will be showing us the same update here also. So you can see here that we have deleted this wall and those ramps in the architecture, but these ramps I think are still available in the structural file, not in the architectural file. So you can see here this is our latest architecture update. So in Revit, if you will be going, you will be finding those update in the Revit architecture itself. So those updates are reflected in the NWF file but not in the NWD file. So that's why when you are working with your internal team members, you are resolving some clashes, you are resolving the clashes for any of your corridor or any of your ceiling space. Okay, let's say if firefighting and the HVAC you are having a clash here. Okay, and you will be updating, firefighting model will be updating or the duct model is updating, and then again they will be replacing the HVAC model with the updated. In that case you need to ensure that they have removed the clash. You will be just clicking here refresh and you can see the latest update from their side. Okay, but whenever we are sharing with the client, we cannot share this NWF files because the client cannot access our server or the location in which we are having those NWC as a live linked. Okay, that's why whenever we are sharing with client, we are sharing as a NWD file. Okay, whenever client will be opening or you are working in your latest NWF location, if any team member can access this file, they can also see the issues whatever you have made, and also the viewpoints or whatever clash detection you have run in the NWD file. Also after opening, the client can go in the viewpoint and he can check whatever existing viewpoint you have given. So let's go back to the same scenario that we have discussed. NWC you will be exporting from Revit. All those NWC, if you need to save as a work, then you are having two options: save as a NWD or save as a NWF. whenever you are saving all those 5 NWC as a NWD, they will be removing the links from the original server location of the files. No more update will be visible in that NWD. That final NWD you saved is the final screenshot, and the final model geometries properties data will be there. But in case of NWF, still if you are updating the NWCs, whatever coordination issues are there, your team members can reflect the updated changes in the NWF files. Okay, but all the team members should have access for those location, otherwise it will not be easy to access those updates from the NWF also. Okay, that's why NWD file having the more sizes, because it is saving all those 4 to 5 NWC as a separate NWD combined model, non live linked. Okay, but this NWF is still getting the data from all the 5 NWC as a linked data. So it is only referring the path, but the data is still live update from the NWC. So if you go to NWF, you can see here, this is our NWF. The size of this file will be less as compared to, you can see here only 8 KB, but the size of this NWD will be more, that is 22 MB approx. So I hope this video clears your doubts about the different Navisworks exports. If you are still having the doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video.